Hitting the touches in the midfield in the final third.
And if you've been paying attention to some of the highlights from yesterday, AJ was all over him. Solo plays, dribbles, breaking down the defense. Like you said, Corelli, this FaZe Clan team, they have an arsenal of weapons at their disposal. We'll see how V1's defense can hold up to it early on. Version1 getting some chances off the backboard. Beast mode beat to the ball there.
And I think, we talked a lot about FaZe and obviously the weapons, like you said, but another interesting thing about Version1 is I feel like with Beast Mode coming onto the roster, it might give more freedom for Calm to show off what he's got. I feel like we haven't seen full potential of Calm, and everyone knows how good he is when he pops off, but that consistency of when he plays to that higher level, that's what you want to see out of him. And maybe Beast Mode can elevate this squad and elevate Calm to that level.
And this is a great test, a stress test, really, for this new roster. First killer, the double tap! He was running on fumes, Corelli, but it was perfectly executed.
49 boosts going into this one, and second touch. Had 9 boosts left until he finally got the last touch. Used everything in the tank to put it away, and the first 45 seconds go in favor of FaZe.
And it bodes well for FaZe. Already first killer getting that double tap. You saw Beast Mode trying to wrap around the back of the net to get the save. The first killer so clean.
One thing, James, that we saw yesterday from FaZe was the passes coming out from the offensive end back towards the midfield. That's where FaZe have really thrived, and I feel like that's the part of the game that's improved the most, is keeping the possession on offense. It's not a quick snake bite anymore. They grab hold of the defense, and they put the pressure on, and that's what's elevated, I think, this roster coming into this split.
And when you have that possession play, when all players... Oh, that one's off the crossbar! Torment couldn't read the bounce out. Calm, flip reset, but could not get the follow-up touch. But when you're playing that possession game as FaZe, it also benefits you now that all 3 players are experts at solo plays. They can go for these air dribble, flip reset, crazy mechanical plays, and that's going to make FaZe extra dangerous. We've already seen them get first blood here, but Version1 having some possession moments.
Certainly getting their bearings as well, but space afforded here. Too typical. One at the back wall, had no boost to follow up, but anyways, and a good clear for Version1 will fall back into the hands of first killer. No help here in the Version1 corner, so first killer's got to get himself. He might go all the way. Here's the follow-up from Sipical, tries to dunk it down. AJ will go as well. Sipical still has boost. He's got 2 in front on the Version1 side, and he's got a dunk Torment this time, still forcing the ball towards the net, and finally Beast Mode able to push it away. First killer's touch will go wide of the net, and still for FaZe on the attack. AJ, how did AJ get through? How on earth did he find that ankle?
You see Calm trying to dribble out, first killer right behind him. AJ powers through, back-to-back 50s. That one pushing it off the ground. He knew that if he blocks off the escape route of that ball, it's going in. AJ, that was a smart play. It's not easy to make that one.
No, what a flip from AJ there. He actually redirected that ball towards the net. I thought surely he couldn't get the angle on it, and now here comes FaZe again. Typical, dangerous shot. AJ waiting for the touch. 2-0 up here for FaZe, and that offense rolling here as it's just Beast Mode under AJ, as he will win the challenge and get out for Version1.
And we've seen so many instances, even in this game, of Version1 stuck on their goal line, having to jump from their goal line to try to push it out to the corner. The lockdown offensive plays that we're seeing from FaZe, is frightening. Yep. And then they're still not letting up. Sipical sniping the lower corner. FaZe picking V1 apart.
And this is, again, James, I mentioned it, this is where I feel like FaZe have improved the most. You see a lot of lateral balls coming across the box, and you're also just seeing opportunities converting for FaZe, and they stay on offense for so long. It's not really Version1's fault here. Any team would struggle with how much pressure they've felt so far against this FaZe roster.
And Sipical picking his point perfectly. He saw that Torment was on the wall, on the post, expecting a high shot. And you saw him whip his car around and go low. Sipical, the accuracy, I mean, that's what he used to be known for, is the shooter. The third man hanging back, waiting for opportunities, and then picking his angle. And he did that there.
Oh man, look at the space for FaZe in the midfield. That pass to first killer He just put it high. It's now 12 shots to 1. FaZe in front on that mark and in front with goals. As Version1 have to put something together. Here's a little gap on the FaZe side. Com can't get around to it. And a minute left. Version1, they've got some work to do.
Beast mode. Flinging it towards net. Com out of boost. That's going to be the best he can do. First killer. Bumping Torment, who pinches it back out to the middle. That will be a chance, and it will be a goal for Com.
That was genius from Torment to follow this ball up. Had 60 boost, got a touch, and then pinched it off the ceiling back towards the net. That's crazy plays coming out from Torment and Com to follow and crash the net there. Much needed goal here for Version1, a break, and they're on the board.
Improvisation from Torment. Recognizing that chance. Version1 do get on the board, but really, aside from that play, FaZe has been utterly dominant.
Yeah. And maybe it's just, you know, Version1 having to learn to play to the pace of FaZe. Space Station had, I think, a similar problem yesterday. Here's another shot from Beast Mode. That one's saved by First Killer on the goal line. So much so that he ran into the post. Now Com comes. Here's Beast Mode to redirect. Sypical jumps in front of that with 10 seconds left. FaZe racing to the other side. Version1, a couple of close calls here at the end of game 1, but just not enough. Down by 2. This one's going to pitch downfield, and FaZe surely going to take game 1.
They are, but in those final moments, we saw V1's offense start to come alive. Even so, I think it was Torment going back the entire FaZe team and thinking that he's going to hit it over to the right side of the field. Or no, I believe it was Torment that took the shot, but regardless, V1 started to get a little bit of space. We're finding each other on the shooting opportunities, and you see even there, you mentioned they had one shot. They managed to close the game out with 6. So V1, despite getting broken down in the first part of the game, they had something to look to later on. However, FaZe Clan, you see them spreading out the love. First Killer, Sypical, AJ all scoring, and there were some quality goals there.
Oh, absolutely. AJ's goal was phenomenal coming out from him, and the ball movement from FaZe was also great. For Version1, I just want to say, I feel like maybe just a sleepy start here. We'll see in game 2, but it felt like they really got going at the end of game 1 here, where you saw Beast Mode get involved. I mean, I didn't really call his name aside from some saves on the defensive side for Version1. The offense was non-existent. I think that goal from Torment with that pinch off the ceiling really ignited the offense there for Version1. Got some confidence going here. So I'm willing to chalk up that game to a sleepy start here for Version1 if they can come out the way they did at the end of game 1 for the entirety of game 2.
But it's been one of those days, Corelli. We've seen 3 sweeps in a row. And honestly, with that game 1, FaZe looks to be in form where a sweep doesn't seem out of the question. But we'll find out game 2 if Version1 can shake off that sleepiness and wake up and bring the offense that we saw later on in the game. And again, you mentioned Beast Mode. He's that player that you're looking to at Version1, coming in, filling in gimmick shoes. Beast Mode, a player that's been hyped up. And now we'll see if he can live up to that hype once more.
Certainly been a good start for Version1 when you talk about groups and where they've been in their previous group. But still, for Version1, these are the types of teams that they've got to beat, and they've been oh so close. Many game 5s for Version1, as everyone knows. But with a different roster, you hope that this will push them over the edge to win a few more of those game 5s, because it wasn't necessarily that they couldn't take some of the top teams the distance, it's that they weren't winning. Here's Sypical towards the net. Com gets up, stretches out to make the save. Beast Mode trying his best to get out. Now Sypical wants to lob it to AJ, but it's right in front of Com. And Beast Mode will hopefully give Version1 a chance here to break out.
Yeah, that was smart positioning by Com there, recognizing the pass opportunity, now taking the shot. But Com ready to block it out. You saw Sypical had options to shoot or pass. Now, 2v1.
Ooh.
Nice challenge from AJ.
Yeah, it was a great challenge from AJ. I think Com and Beast Mode are going for the pinch there. Now Sypical. Once more of this defense from Version1. AJ. Lob towards the net is too wide, and the clear will come out from Com.
You're seeing FaZe positioning on offense, always in a spot where they're giving the teammate the option to pass, which makes it even more difficult when you're trying to defend it. Have to give them extra space and wait to see which route they go with. AJ Didn't get the double tap, but it's back to First Killer. Pings it off Torment's car. Clear out. Sypical shoots towards net. Rebound out from Calm. AJ, the tip down. Sypical trying to dribble it around, but Calm getting a piece of it. Torment, bit of a panic clear, but Sypical didn't have enough boost to do much. AJ Ock, so calm under pressure. Will get the flick by another. Buying some time for FaZe to get back into position, but a miss from First Killer. Sypical will tip it out.
Version1 putting on some pressure here, and FaZe a little disorganized on defense. Now the flip reset from First Killer almost goes through. And Version1 definitely playing this game a lot closer. While maybe they aren't winning in possession, they are a little bit more dangerous downfield, and the defense has been a lot more organized, have not let FaZe have extended shots on target, or multiple shots on target, I should say. First Killer, though, trying to work the corner. Calm goes up the side, does make the save. Sypical on the shot. It will go through, and FaZe will finally break through the defense.
And again, options. You see First Killer slowing the ball down, threatening the pass to the middle, also threatening the bump. And we've seen rebound after rebound come out in front of Version1's net. This time, Sypical is there to clean it up. And FaZe Clan taking the lead just past the halfway point of the game. And Version1, despite the strong defense, eventually let FaZe through.
6 saves for Version1, 7 shots from FaZe, and you're right. They've done a good job to turn away FaZe, but you just can't feel that much pressure for so long. As Torment tries to get back to this one. Haven't really seen Version1 hold the midfield at all. There's been a lot, like you mentioned earlier, some panic clears. People with no players with no boost just throwing the ball away. They haven't been able to keep possession and transition onto that offense. It's mostly just been counterattacks from Version1.
Beast mode, he's using up all his boost here. The attack not going to be able to keep going for Version1. Torment trying to follow up his second hit, but FaZe, oh, you see AJ getting bumped to oblivion. But First Killer finds AJ, and now a 1-2, already FaZe back on the attack.
Yeah, and it's those clears that go right back into FaZe. Now a shot from Sypical, he'll surely put it away. 2-0 for FaZe Clan.
FaZe looking deadly. AJ tipping to the corner. Beautiful doink setup there for Sypical. And FaZe, what else can you say? They look offensively superior to Version1.
And I feel like we were starting to touch on it there, James. I feel like there's a lot of touches from Version1 that just go straight back to a FaZe Clan player. And sometimes you have to do that. It's not necessarily that it's bad. That's almost every single time that Version1 are giving up the ball and it's going straight to FaZe. Whether it's First Killer in the backfield, AJ, or Sypical, they start to pick up their offense from the back and pick apart the defense of Version1. So they need to have a better setup on offense.
And they just are, it's so hard for V1 to get possession because of how much boost FaZe is able to steal, how much they're able to get, and how much they're able to force it out of V1. You see how much boost Beast Mode using there to fail the clear out of the midfield. Torment back to the corner. First Killer with plenty, but he was backwards and awkward. Free flip there, and the demo. 2v2 for a moment. Sypical on empty. Torment couldn't get the pinch, and now First Killer will have a solo play chance. Oh, and you saw the pinch attempt. FaZe Killer and AJ trying to squeeze that ball. And time ticks away for Version1. So again, Version1 will be on the losing end. And FaZe Clan are looking ferocious. The amount of possession we've seen them have.
Yep.
And also for FaZe, in a lot of situations, in these 50-50s, they're not even jumping. And you're seeing Version1 commit heavily on these challenges. And when you jump into a challenge, if the opponent doesn't and they can maintain the ball, then they're quickly punishing you for losing that position by going airborne. And AJ is so good at that, knowing when he can get away without jumping, getting right into a dribble, and trying to get the ball out to a teammate or even just make a solo play. And now we've got Version1 calling a timeout to try to figure out how to respond to what FaZe Clan is bringing.
Yeah, and I think this is a perfect time to call a timeout for Version1. You don't want to, I don't necessarily love the philosophy of calling it on your last life, you know, if you're going down 3 games. So I like it that they're here down 2 games, an opportunity to make some quick adjustments here. And if they drop the next game, they can adjust even further. And for Version1, I think there were adjustments made. We talked about higher quality defense for Version1, but I'm going to harp on it again, James. I feel like Version1 gave up the ball too easily to FaZe, and free touches for FaZe is just, it'll kill you throughout a series. I don't care who you are. You cannot give First Killer and Typical open space in the midfield. You can't let AJ up into the air like he has so much here in this series. And for Version1, it's either closing down that space if it's going to happen, or just keeping possession as they move out. And I know it's tough because FaZe, they soak up all the boost. They move the ball out quite a bit. You got to play up to the FaZe pace. But these are the things that Version1 are going to have to change if they want a chance.
You're certainly right. And it's tough to not want to dump the ball when you're low on boost, because you're thinking I just need to get some breathing room so we can get some boost. But it just doesn't work when you have so many FaZe Clan players able to make the solo plays. And you even see them going for the rebound plays, as you see in the highlights. Even if they're taking these shots that aren't going in, and Version1 has been so boost starved that even those weak shots are going to be doing wonders for that rebound, because Version1's not going to be able to get the follow-up very quickly. And FaZe has been driving circles around V1. So we'll see what kind of adjustments come out. We'll keep our eyes peeled on Version1 to see if anything changes. But what we have seen is them stuck on the goal line quite a bit, forced to make save after save.
We'll see if Version1 can make some adjustments here and find some footing on offense. There's been a couple great chances here for Version1, but a lot of it has come from mistakes coming out from FaZe. And they are a little jumpy on defense, the FaZe side is. Good pinch coming out from Beast Mode. And hey, if you're going to throw it downfield, that's the type of touch you want, as it allows Version1 to play on this FaZe side. But an easy clear here for First Killer. Met by Calm, and now AJ wants to set it up. First Killer up again. He's going to beat Torment. Beast Mode on the backboard, as First Killer can't get back down to it. Typical wants the backboard himself, as they let it go for AJ. Fakes it down. The shot comes through. A triple commit comes out from Version1. Now First Killer to the back wall. Flip reset. Puts it away. First Killer. Highlight play to start things off.
First Killer built different. You saw the defense was defending the double tap. They did not expect the flip reset triple tap.
And that's great play from FaZe, because they recognize how panicked Version1 was on offense. And look how many times FaZe put it off the backboard, how quick they were to meet it. First Killer was there twice. Typical put it off the backboard as well. AJ went there as well. And so finally First Killer with the solo play to put it home. That's how you whittle down a defense.
I mean, I don't know if I'd call that whittling down. I think he blew that up.
Fair.
There's nothing left. He demolished it. So a statement goal from First Killer, a highlight machine. That was a beauty. FaZe Clan.
Oh, man. Look at the space here in the midfield. Players got to it at the same time. Everyone retreated back. Still, it just goes to show, I mean, for both sides, the space there is to work with the ball. Here's AJ now. Over to First Killer. Another touch to the backboard, maybe two. First Killer, another one. Can't put it away. The defense was nowhere to be found, as this one thrown downfield, and FaZe will start back from their own line.
AJ, backward pass, typical. The pinch. Calm, desperately trying to get this ball out to Torment. The flick will go wide. Beast Mode with the boost steal. Promising exchange there for V1. Calm to Torment. Torment over to Beast Mode. Beast Mode drops down, but Typical will deny the upper 90 shot.
Still a good setup. Good passing plays from the side wall here from Version1. And it almost went through. A quality touch from Beast Mode almost was good enough to beat the FaZe defense, but still Version1 struggling to break through halfway through this game. And First Killer working the sideline here, trying to find a hole here in the defense. Typical has space to work with, flicks it over one. It's open for AJ. He'll put it home. 2-0 for FaZe.
This is brutal. FaZe committing a beatdown against V1. That flick up to AJ. AJ there to cleanly put it in. The grit and determination from Typical. He just kept going. And man, FaZe are looking like they're playing on a different level, Corelli, than V1.
And I feel like there was a miscommunication on the version 1 side there.
That's
this one's
in.
going to roll. That's just in. It's just going to roll in from AJ. But I just want to talk about the last goal for a second, because it felt like Torment in beast mode, someone was calling out to go, and maybe they both were, and nobody went for the ball, and then they both went at the same time. And so I'm not sure what's happening on the version 1 side as AJ gets a third one here with the open net counter. But things are falling apart even after the timeout.
Sometimes there's just nothing you can do, and a team's just better.
Oh, man.
Almost another goal from First Killer. And FaZe, you kind of felt like it was true, Corelli, that they were maybe one adjustment, one roster move away from being the best team in NA. And this gameplay that we're seeing out of them makes you wonder if they are.
Well, if the previous roster was top 4 internationally, what happens when you add Typical to the lineup? And right now, it's looking very reminiscent, James, to the previous series we casted with G2. Just absolute domination through and through. There's no better way to put it. Typical fighting for this one on the goal line. Torment is able to throw it away, and a good pinch will find the backboard. Tough read for First Killer, and he makes it to throw the ball back downfield for FaZe.
And that was a tough read indeed. First Killer had to predict how that ball was going to bounce, speeding off the pinch from Torment. But it shows you how focused First Killer is, how on his game that he is, and how on their game that FaZe is overall.
Yeah, that's the scary part too, James, is sometimes you feel like you're not getting all of FaZe in some of these series. This is prime FaZe right now, and it is very hard to play against. You're seeing version 1 have so many struggles to find the back of the net. First Killer trying to tack on a fourth. Typical wants to drop it down to AJ, and FaZe looking to just jog into the finish line here, at least in this game.
Version 1 scored a single goal in this series so far. FaZe utterly dominant. Version 1 already used their timeout, so they're going to be on series point after this one. Going to have to figure out what to do, but it seems like there are no answers. Only people with answers are FaZe, as Com has no boost to get that shot on target to add insult to injury. FaZe Clan up 3-0, and now on match point.
What do you do? What do you say to each other right now on the version 1 side? I asked that one rhetorically because I mean I don't know. I feel like you take the timeout, you come back in with a game plan, and it was arguably worse here. FaZe Clan were all over them. I feel like the only reason the score didn't open up more was because FaZe just slowed down and they were happy to sit on the 3-goal lead and go next. I mean, now they put version 1 on match point in a series where, I mean, they weren't even tested defensively in most cases. It felt like it was just all FaZe offense throughout this series so far.
And it makes you believe the best defense is a good offense, and FaZe Clan living by that theory in this series. They were spectacular. And that goal, we saw it in the highlight package, that goal from First Killer, the flip reset, beautifully done. The defense, I mean, he made him look silly. First Killer is one of those players that has that extra little bit of skill, talent, mechanics that allows him to pull things off in series like this that make your jaw drop. First Killer, wonderfully done. And then you even saw AJ and Sypical have their moments. The flick from Sypical to get the pass over to AJ. The solo play potential is there for FaZe Clan. So they are looking in form, and now just one game away from closing this out. Can V1 figure out how to get back into this one? They've only managed to score a single goal so far heading into game 4.
It's shocking, really, so far for version 1, but another game lined up for them, and one where they can make amends. And in a series where, we mentioned it a little bit, James, that we've seen glimpses, even in that last game, glimpses of some great offense from version 1, but it's literally been like 2 plays previously in the previous game that you felt like version 1 looked put together on offense.
And First Killer still manages to save the shots.
Yeah, so. First Killer and Typical both making crazy saves there, and you can't beat him on offense right now. You can't beat him on defense. Maybe Calm. How about that one to put it away? And version 1 finally starting off on the right foot.
Torment lobbing back. You see it was awkward. Typical trying to half flip. Didn't get the best touch. And Calm places that upper 90. That is the momentum that V1 needs. Finally getting a lead. Can they hold on to it? Torment, good speed, and he gets the bump on AJ. Beast Mode waiting to see how Typical gets this out. Well, looks like he might have even pinched it with a teammate there to have that get out of the zone. FaZe Clan now on the attack. AJ dodging the bump. Beast Mode shutting that down nicely.
Oh no. Thought for a second everyone was going to whiff there on Version1. The first man did, and AJ whipped around with full boost. This one's passed out as well, but this time FaZe not pushed up as far. Still makes it to the goal line. Typical, he'll take a shot. That one just wide. As FaZe afforded some space. Now Torment over to Calm. Calm drops it back to Beast Mode. Takes a shot from half field and almost caught the defense out. But here comes AJ and didn't get enough of that one to the back wall. Calm to play it to his corner.
And you saw how Calm decided to take that to a dribble, showing some confidence. Torment, low boost, pinch, will go back out. Beast Mode has First Killer on his tail, misses the ball. First Killer, oh, wow. First Killer!
He just is the best.
Oh man, what do you do? This has to be so tilting for Beast Mode.
He's got 25 boosts, and looking at it from Calm's angle, it looked like it was out. From Calm's POV, it looked like it was out, but First Killer perfectly put it under the crossbar, and Calm didn't even jump at it.
Speechless.
Yeah.
Killer. I mean, from that angle to make it perfect, but Beast Mode goes far post and in. V1 back on top, and that was a big one for Beast Mode, who had made that opening for First Killer on the last goal. Getting the go-ahead goal, that is exactly what V1 needed.
And despite the great work from First Killer on his shot, it's important that Version1 respond back, and that's exactly what they did. Maybe a kickoff goal here. That one almost an own goal. Typical instead. A calculated pass off the post to AJ. But that's what Version1 needs. They need to put goals away, obviously, but responding when FaZe also tie up the game is maybe even more important, as FaZe have just fell forward most of this game. And so for Version1 to reclaim that lead, I think gives a lot of confidence for this squad. They got to play a little bit of defense here, and it's getting a bit dicey. A shot goes just high as Torment gets a piece of it. Version1 scrambles to get this one out.
Giving up possession yet again, but Beast Mode does have the demo on Typical. Drop down pass denied from Calm. Beast Mode looking for another bump.
Ooh.
Calm dodging.
Oh my.
Low 50, but Typical plays it well.
It was a shame he didn't have boost there. He got everyone on a string, making him jump. Now Beast Mode tries to get over AJ. Calm has Beast Mode downfield, wants to find him, but a weak touch, maybe cuts it back, can't do it. As Typical will shut down the space. Now the pass over to First Killer, first man up. As he tries to play it off the back wall, and Torment there to shut him down.
Typical has done well reading the plays from V1. They're trying to get it around him, but he's challenging wonderfully. Torment. Back out to the middle. Typical perhaps looking for the pass to AJ, but AJ had to bail. Beast Mode, the double tap, kicks it backwards. And a boom downfield. Calm. Off the ceiling. AJ with an open net. The demo killer paving the way. First Killer is brutal.
And I thought maybe Version1 would be set up here nicely, but that demo from First Killer shuts down Beast Mode, and AJ had an open net, and that was deliberate, as AJ didn't look for the backboard or anything. He just put it on target. He knew that demo was coming through, the trust on First Killer to at least get the touch on the player. And now we're tied up, and First Killer in pursuit of that go-ahead goal. Typical wants to play it across. Here comes First Killer. It's Calm. Is he able to pick it away for Version1?
AJ taking the ball to the air, flip reset. Ooh. Shut down by Calm. First Killer going for a bump. Typical high lob, backward bounce, blocked by Beast Mode. AJ tipping it up to First Killer. Looks like he got his flip right away. And you saw him try to weave around Calm. Yeah. Calm being a nuisance on defense. Drop down pass. AJ, flip reset.
Oh my gosh.
Almost off the backboard, and no rebound for First Killer, but FaZe whipping out all the weapons.
Every single player got a flip reset on that attack. And it almost paid off. Still tied. The demo, Calm almost makes it open as Torment puts a shot on target. FaZe now scrambling on defense. Version1 coming to life late, and they can steal this game away. A game where they've held the lead for most of the time. But Typical might put him away here. 10 seconds left. Version1 have to get out. Calm over to Torment. Torment with the shot is low.
Ooh.
And first killer to clear it away. I don't know if he can get back to that one. Calm surely going to put this one down. Doesn't kill it.
He tried.
And dangerous. Here comes AJ. The shot is turned away from Calm. First killer still keeping it alive, and it finally drops. Into overtime we go.
Match life for Version1. Otherwise, they're heading down to the lower bracket. They held the lead in this game, but FaZe has looked ferocious. Beast mode, trying to get around Typical. Typical boxing Beast mode out, but Beast mode still coming out on top. 50 to the backboard. Torment, put that in front of his own net, but Calm there to bail him out.
A lot of time here spent on this Version1 side. FaZe just fishing for a mistake or an opportunity to set themselves up. AJ using all of his boost. Got a flip reset. Looking for follow-up. Typical's there. Can't dunk Torment. As he'll push it downfield, and maybe Version1 can get on the counter. It's denied. Now Typical that's 2 demos on Version1. Wide open for Typical. Another sweep for North America. And FaZe take them down 4-0.
FaZe came to play, and first killer having highlights. Typical, he fit in like a puzzle piece, and it looks like the puzzle's completed. FaZe have figured it out. They are looking unstoppable and moving on to play in RG in the upper final. And Corelli, we've seen a lot of sweeps today, but I think this makes for an interesting day tomorrow, looking at how well teams are playing. And eventually, these teams are going to clash. The ones that are getting these sweeps, looking unbeatable, we'll have some crazy matchups.
That's the fun part about this, because I think, especially for FaZe and for G2, you and I both have just talked them up so much, and well warranted because of how well they've played. FaZe here today, G2 here today have really stuck out at just being absolute monsters. So it is going to be a crazy day 3 here for this Winter Regional.
This has been wild, and this FaZe Clan team, Corelli, with Typical, it does look like it is a potential upgrade, seeing how well they're playing together. Some highlight clips that I'm sure we're all going to go back and check out. And while we check out those clips, we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, more X Games Open.